Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Friday, the 8th of March, 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 hit a record high today, finishing up more than 1% at 7,847 points. It was a big day for the banks, continuing their recent run. Commonwealth Bank hit another record, up nearly 2%. Westpac jumped 2.6%. National Australia Bank rose 2.3%. And ANZ was up 1.7%. Those final 3 outside Commonwealth Bank are trading around multi-year highs. Other big gainers today included CSL, Macquarie, Woodside, Telstra, Woolies, WiseTech Global. There were plenty. The big miners underperformed. It's all about confidence that rates will fall this year, boosting earnings, particularly rates in the US. And that is story number 2. Wall Street rallied overnight, led by the tech stocks, with Nvidia jumping another 5%. This time, though, the other 6 of the Magnificent Seven's tech stocks, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Tesla, and Alphabet, all rose as well. By the close, the tech-heavy Nasdaq had hit a new record, as had the board-based S&P 500. In his second day of testimony to a Senate Banking Committee, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said the central bank wasn't far from having confidence to dial back the level of restrictions, i.e., cut interest rates. Similarly, European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde said she and her colleagues aren't sufficiently confident at present to commence monetary easing, but a window may open soon. When you get these central banks talking about lower rates, markets love it. Story number 3, US President Joe Biden has used his final State of the Union address before the election to lay out his achievements and warn about the risk of re-electing Donald Trump. The speech before a joint sitting of Congress covered all the big issues, but with a real campaign feel to it. Biden talked about immigration and the crisis at the US-Mexico border, measures to reduce cost of living pressures, and called for the minimum corporate tax rate to be raised to at least 21%. He addressed his age as well, saying that he's been around a while and his lifetime has taught him to embrace freedom and democracy. He didn't name Trump at all during the speech, instead calling him his predecessor, and warned that democracy and reproductive rights were at risk if Trump was to be re-elected. As for Donald Trump himself, well, he'd promised to do a live critique of the address on his Truth Social website. Unfortunately, there was a network failure and the former president was silenced for an hour. When he eventually came back online, he described it as the worst State of the Union speech ever made and an embarrassment to our country. Clearly, that hour offline didn't calm him down at all. Story number 4, dual-listed Virgin Money has received a $5.7 billion takeover bid from British Mutual Nationwide Building Society. Virgin Money is Britain's 6th largest bank, and the announcement sent its share price up 33% today. Virgin Money is the National Australia Bank spin-off, and the offer is a 38% premium to its closing price yesterday. While the deal needs to go to the shareholders, management are behind the bid, saying it offers an exciting opportunity. Now, Virgin Money was created by the merger of Virgin and Clydesdale and Yorkshire Banking Group in a £1.7 billion deal in 2018. The latter, Clydesdale and Yorkshire Banking Group, had been owned by National Australia Bank, hence the dual listing. And story number 5, Rupert Murdoch is engaged again to his girlfriend Elena Zukova. The wedding will be held in June at Mr Murdoch's vineyard and estate, Moraga. 67-year-old Ms. Zukova is from Moscow and is a retired molecular biologist who Mr. Murdoch began dating in the middle of last year. She's the mother of Dasha Zukova, who was married to Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich until 2018. Mr. Murdoch has been married 4 times before, most recently to Jerry Hall, the former model and, of course, ex-wife of Mick Jagger. In early 2023, he was engaged to retired dental hygienist and Conservative presenter Anne Leslie Smith. That ended after about 2 weeks. Good luck to him. That's it for the afternoon report for Friday, the 8th of March, 2024. Michael Thompson and Kenna Campbell and I will be back tomorrow morning with a weekend edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.